I just need a second. For 30 seconds. I got one timeout I didn't use, so, been saving it. I think it's a 30. I got to play in my head, but it might be a little late. It worked 10 years ago. But no, thank you guys for everything. I guess. Well, I'll start, and then I appreciate it. We'll answer any questions. But I got to say, thank you guys too for. I've been in women's basketball since 1978 or 9. And just to see everybody here and how much you support our sport, whether you think I made a good decision, bad decision, wins and losses, they're just a byproduct of and all the great players we've had. But thank you guys because it wasn't always like this, women's basketball. There's a lot of pioneers out there, and that paid a lot of dues. So to have the media and, to be part of Northwestern and the Big Ten Network and, just seeing where we are now, it wouldn't happen unless you guys felt like it was important too. So, today is a very surreal day for our family, myself, and, when you're grinding, when you go through a season, you don't have a lot of time. You have games, practices. Big Ten, we travel a lot of places. And even our non-conference schedule, we were in Utah, D.C. Trips that seem to come in Florida, one right after another. So I feel like this team, we've been on the road all year. So you really don't think about this your last. It's your last game in Welsh-Ryan Arena. I coached a lot of games in old Welsh-Ryan, and we had snow coming in the roof. We had, we put towels in the back gym, and it's really, I think we have the best college basketball arena and environment in the Big Ten. So I feel very lucky to be part of that. Very lucky to help contribute to it being built and to be able to coach in it. So, it's just very surreal for me and my family right now, and we'll go from there. So, thanks.
Coach, throughout the year we've asked so much, about you and your career, but I kind of wanted to go off the court. What has Mrs. McKeown meant to you in supporting you in your success throughout your career?
Well, I mentioned she just has been an incredible partner in all this and has made so many sacrifices, not just for me or for our team and program, but for our family. And she's been there every step of the way. I think going into today, I was second in the country behind Gino Auriemma in the number of games coached. So she's encouraged me even 4 or 5 years ago when maybe a lot of coaches would be looking for some sunshine or working on their golf game. She encouraged me to keep doing what we're doing, and I couldn't have done that without her. And along the way, we've been through every peak and valley. As a college basketball coach, she's never wavered. She's just been right behind me the whole way, and our family. So I'm very blessed, and who knows? Maybe she'll start coaching and I'll start watching. We'll see. Thank you though for that question.
Coach, how do you want to be remembered, not only here in Evanston, but in the greater landscape of college basketball?
Well, I feel like, like any coach who, I feel very lucky for this reason. I coached, 19 years at George Washington, and 18 years at Northwestern in college basketball, and 2 big-time programs, 2 big-time conferences, and a lot of wins, but a lot of people expect you to win too. And so to coach that long, at not have to, in college basketball, that doesn't happen a lot. I'm an outlier from that standpoint. I just heard John Calipari go off about you should never coach more than like 8 or 9 years at one school. So I've proved you can do it twice. I don't need a third time, but so I just want to be remembered as somebody that cared about his players and did everything we could to make them better, everything we could. We built 2 fan-base families too, and it felt so good to see people come back today to support not just our team but our family. So I hope that's how we're remembered, as things we did off the court for our players, and the fact that they will leave Northwestern with a degree, hopefully all of them, and take advantage of that. And same thing at GW, that they know they're always welcome back. So, thanks.
Coach, as you reflect on this final season and just entering the year that it was your last season at the helm, what sort of perspective did you have coming into the year, and how much just extra appreciation did you gain just at every practice, every game that you stepped on the court for?
Yeah, I think it was just, and there's a frustration too. We led Michigan, and at halftime, in the end of the third quarter, I'm sitting there, we're going to beat Michigan today, let's go. And, we weren't able to finish some of those games. We led Iowa most of the game, or a lot of the game. 2 teams that were in the top 10. So I knew we could, we wanted to compete every game, and I thought we did a great job of that. Sometimes we just either couldn't finish or just got off to a bad start. Through it, we just kind of tried to make the best out of every day this year. And our players too. And you heard Caroline, you heard Grace. They're telling you the truth. They came to practice a week ago, 3 days ago, yesterday, with this great attitude, great energy. So I'm really proud of that.
Coach, the dogfight that you guys kind of were in towards the end of the game, when your team was battling, kind of reminded me of a funny moment towards the beginning of the season where the crew at Ion Television coined your team the Fightin' Joe McKeowns. So to see your team constantly battle, not just today, but against Wisconsin and Indiana in a couple of past games, what does that mean to you to see your players just go out there and battle until the final whistle for you?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think the biggest thing, it's just, we talk about adversity and how, we were on this, and at GW, we were on this incredible ride where when you lost a game, I mean, it was like a funeral, because you never lost, hardly ever. And then after my first year here, we kept winning, and we were on this great ride here, this great train, and it kept going up. But we also had, a couple times when you got derailed and you had to bounce back. And every team goes through that, whether you're, like we won a Big Ten championship, we also, the adversity of COVID hitting and shutting down our program in college basketball. Same thing. I just want them to know, when adversity hits, you're prepared. This journey made you stronger, and knowing that you're not always going to be on that perfect train. That you're going to get hit sometimes, and this makes you. I think this makes you stronger and gives you, the Northwestern experience that they've been through. I think is going to be a lifetime win for them.
Coach, what did you tell the players just during the full timeout with 14 seconds left?
Hit a 3, get a stop, and hit another 3, and basically turn them over. But also how much we care, how proud we are of each player in this program. But we actually did say, hit a 3, get a stop, hit another 3.
Coach, you've obviously announced your retirement before the season, and throughout the year you've gone on all these trips, and each stop they've honored you and given you the recognition you deserve. What does that mean to you to, throughout the season, just understand how valuable
Thank you.
are?
No, and I appreciate that. I've been so lucky. I've had great mentors in the basketball world and life, and great colleagues that I've fought together with to try to make women's basketball or the Big Ten into a better sport, a better place for young women. So to have your colleagues honor you, or because we're always fighting each other. I mean, you're trying to out recruit each other, which is crazy in itself. That world, and you're always trying to beat each other because we've been in the top 20, all these years, and it just means a lot when you take time and our colleagues in the league or everywhere we've been. GW put a banner up for our family, and I couldn't believe that, and I'm like, I hope nobody steals it, but to see the gifts are really appreciative, but the relationships and the coaches that we've grown up together, and for the younger coaches in our league, some of them work for me, so it's incredible to see their success, and I'm just happy for them, and just really everybody's been so gracious in the Big Ten, and just so appreciative of that.
When next season kicks off and down the line, what do you think will be some of the things that you'll miss about coaching? And also, what are some of the things that you definitely won't miss?
That's a great question. Coaches by nature, love to practice. Players love to play. What's the old song? Players want to play, whatever. Coaches want to practice. And I miss that. I miss the teaching, being on the court, trying to make players, this is what coaches love. The recruiting part, I'm not sure I'll miss that much. Even though my wife would tell you how many hours we spend, between 9 o'clock and midnight every night on the phone trying to recruit, or trying to get to a high school game 1,000 miles away and get back for practice. I won't miss that part. This new world too of NILs and rev share. I think that's something that it needs to be straightened out, and it will. I think, but I won't miss that part either.
Yeah, Coach, just want to ask you about the importance of family. As Sean touched on it, but being able to have Megan play for you and Allie be on the sidelines this year and last, just how important is that to you that you're able to have that aspect?
Yeah, you can't replicate that. I was very fortunate when Megan, I want to say sophomore, so was playing for us. I always remember we went to Big Ten Media Day here in Chicago, and there was about 3 or 4 coaches. It was men and women's basketball together, who had coached their sons. And you have all these breaks in Media Day. And we'd sit there and compare stories and compare notes, and they all helped me, and they all said the same thing: it's going to be the greatest thing you ever did, and they were right, So I've been so lucky that she chose Northwestern, and I'm not sure we moved her, as you heard me say, in the middle of high school. So, but now she, you guys that are part of Medill. You also know how special that is, and it was one of her great experiences, I think, to go to Northwestern. Allie was our baby, saying, "I want to get out of here," so started looking at schools, a few miles out of our radius that we wanted, that Mom and I wanted to drive to, but she just made a hard decision. It was really hard. And we're so proud when she decided to come to Northwestern, and she was so involved in the community here, things that you would never know, and just gave back to everybody, all the feeder schools. She coached them, and so she was ready to come on board 2 years ago, and just her future is so bright. We're excited for her, and I think Megan's doing all right too. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. If you watch the NCAA tournament, well, you'll see her too. So, but no, we've just been really blessed as a family. So.
Ethan, last one to finish up. What are some of the things that you're most looking forward to with some of that extra time off in retirement?
Yeah, wow. Thank you, you guys. Yeah, we got to go too. Yeah. I'm out of breath. I think we have. You heard me say we've been involved in the special needs world for the last 30 years, and my job is so demanding here that I also feel like I can invest more time maybe now in that. And you're always, trying to figure that out. Things that we want to do that we, as a family, we haven't been able to do. It'll be fun. And I don't know. We haven't gotten that far. But my golf game is terrible. So, my only goal last year was to beat Chris Collins, and now he's beating everybody in golf and basketball. So, I might catch him. If I can catch him on the golf course, that'll be a W. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
For Caroline, you wore this jersey for 4 years. What has it meant to you to be a Wildcat?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm kind of in a rare experience now, just playing at the same school for 4 years. But obviously, wins and losses. My career probably doesn't look great, but I've had the best 4 years of my life here, and I'm super grateful just to Coach McKeown and the whole coaching staff, my teammates, for, again, the best 4 years of my life.
Other questions? Right here.
Grace, when you reflect on your 1 year in Evanston, what memories stand out to you?
I think it's really hard to pick just one. I came here and immediately felt like I was at home. I didn't even feel like a transfer, so I think that welcoming experience and welcoming group just has made this whole thing so special. So I couldn't pick one, but there's been so many to count. Yeah.
For the both of you, what lessons have you learned from your time playing at Northwestern?
I think it's just continuing to fight, right? Even when we're down, whether that be at halftime or, after a tough loss, just continuing to push through and stick together. And I think that's what this team did so well this year. We never broke. We always had that good chemistry, had the fight. So I think, yeah, it's a nice life lesson.
Yeah, I think I was telling some of our freshmen this in the fall, but just to cherish every moment. Again, these 4 years go by super quick, and whether we're playing well, winning, losing, to just cherish your time and appreciate what we have. Yeah.
For both of you, Caroline from high school and then I guess Grace in the transfer portal, do you guys have any memories of being recruited by Coach McKeown and that moment where you knew Northwestern was going to be where you ended up?
Yeah, I like to joke. I was the easiest recruit ever. I just kind of committed one day.
Yeah. I don't know. Mine's obviously very different, but I knew after my first phone call with Coach Joe, he was just joking around the whole time. I didn't really know him much, and I was he seems like an awesome time. He's built something great here. And I wanted to, be a part of that, be a part of his family. Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, for both of you, when you guys look on maybe 20 years down the road, what do you think you're going to remember the most from this program?
Honestly, just the people. We have, I think, well, obviously biased, but the best coaching staff, players, people. Everyone on our staff and on our team are just genuinely good people. And we always say that we try to be good people before good players, and that's really made it easy to be a part of this group, and it's just a really big, loving group.
Yeah. I agree. You walk in the building every day and you feel at home. You're excited to go to practice. You're excited to go to lift because, again, these people are just so genuine and they really want the best for you. I think that'll be the hardest thing to forget for sure.
For either of you, what does it mean to be part of the last group that Coach McKeown will ever coach?
I think super special. I think it's rounded out his, amazing resume and amazing years of coaching. And he's made it a really special past year, and we've tried to do the same for him. Because, we want to send him off properly, and I think we have, again, with just this family atmosphere that we've created this year. It's really special, and I'm honored to be a part of this last group for sure.
For both of you, just knowing that you were the last senior class to come through under Coach McKeown, what was that? How did that dynamic play out this season, and what sort of perspective did you guys gain just going through that last ride alongside him?
I think our senior class is super strong, and I think that we all have these different aspects to our game and aspects to us as people, and I think we were able to, work with him and work under him with those different things. We had Tate, Deja coming from totally different programs, Sammy coming from a different sport, and then Caroline and I as well, just all blending in. And I think that we all kind of worked off of each other, just again, to make this last year super special.
Thank you, Liz.
One note. So, did Sammy not have a steal?
She did.
She did?
Mark it.
Make sure you guys get that, all right?
Thank you.
Good luck, Grace.